How did online gossip purportedly cost a pair of employees their jobs? We will download the details on CNN Student News. First up, President Obama wants to close a few loopholes that affect how some U.S. companies pay their taxes. Now, specifically, we are talking about American corporations that do business around the world. By working in other countries, these companies are able to pay less in taxes. But President Obama says the system shouldn't reward businesses for moving jobs and profits overseas. So he's looking to do a few things. First, the president wants to change the rules around how and when U.S. companies pay taxes on their overseas businesses. Second, he wants to offer a tax cut for companies that conduct their research in the U.S. And third, he wants to make it harder for companies to take advantage of the tax breaks that they get from working in other countries. The president says the goal of this proposal is to create jobs here in the U.S. and to make the tax laws more fair.
We will stop letting American companies that create jobs overseas take deductions on their expenses when they do not pay any American taxes on their profits. And we will use the savings to give tax cuts to companies that are investing in research and development here at home so that we can jumpstart job creation, foster innovation, and enhance America's competitiveness.
Now here's the other side. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce says the current laws are not loopholes. They were created with, quote, full knowledge and full discussion. And critics argue that the president's plan will actually discourage companies from investing money here in the U.S. Congress would have to approve some of the proposed changes, and one tax expert says it might be a tough sell to Republicans and some Democrats.
Is this legit? You cannot get the swine flu virus by eating pork. This is true. Properly cooked pork products don't transmit the virus.
I'm not that nervous, everything's clean. I'm a little nervous, not even lie. I'm scared. I know they sanitize the building, but I'm still a little nervous.
I'm definitely confident that, I don't think anyone's sick, and I'm glad that we're back in school to see each other again.
Well, some mixed emotions at New York's St. Francis Preparatory School as students head back to class this week. The school had the first confirmed cases of the H1N1 virus, or swine flu, in the U.S. But the principal says St. Francis has been completely sanitized. Health officials are trying to learn everything they can about this virus to figure out how to fight it. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who's been tracing the origins of the outbreak, takes us inside the U.S. organization that's figuring out the next steps in facing this flu.
After 5 days in Mexico, hunting down the first cases of the swine flu virus, I'm back in Atlanta. Now, if there's a place where every bit of news about swine flu is converging, it's here, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Before they would let me into the main control center, a checkup here in the medical clinic to make sure I wasn't sick. They tell me I'm fine.
So now we're ready to take a look at the nerve center of the CDC, something known as Emergency Operations Control. Take a look over here. Hundreds of people have been in here working day and night for over the last week. And take a look at those screens up there. Those screens monitoring cases as they come in, trying to put it all together, trying to piece it all together, trying to get control on this outbreak.
Everybody you see in here is here because of the outbreak.
What else do we have over here?
Each one of those regions that you see on that map right there has a team of epidemiologists and folks that are working on making sure that they track each one of the cases in that region. And so they are literally down there getting calls from all those states, talking to the state health officials, talking to the epidemiologists in each state, and tracking the numbers.
Tracking cases, looking for clues, sending out investigators. The guidelines on those Fort Worth school closings, they came from here. But today, the focus seems to be shifting. What if this spirals into a full-fledged global outbreak? And what if we need a vaccine?
I want to show you something that very few people get a chance to see. We're in the back hallways here at the CDC in the laboratory area, and look through this window over here. That woman is working on the swine flu virus. A lot of those samples come here. What she is doing underneath the hood, she's obviously protecting herself, is to try and check to see if the swine flu virus is sensitive to antivirals. What I can tell you, the early testing shows that it's quite sensitive to Tamiflu.
This particular virus, with this particular combination of genes, we've never seen before in humans or animals. It was totally new.
Michael Shaw runs the lab.
Are we making a vaccine?
Yeah, we're all learning right now. We're doing the best we can as fast as we can, which is the message I guess we really want to get out. We're working day and night trying to get this done.
Here's how it works. The scientists here at the CDC provide the virus for the vaccine. After that, it's in the hands of the manufacturers, the big drug companies.
Is a vaccine been recommended now?
No. We're at the stage where we're trying to understand this situation. We're trying to characterize the severity and the epidemiologic characteristics.
If history is any guide, over the next few weeks, H1N1 is likely to fizzle down. But come fall and winter, it could come back, making a vaccine that much more important and keeping the hundreds of people in this room just as busy. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, Atlanta.
See if you can ID me. I'm a website category that's used by tens of millions of people. I offer users the chance to create their own space, wall, or tweet. One of my sites includes the official online fan page for CNN Student News. I'm social networking sites like MySpace, Facebook, and Twitter.
Well, a lot of what people post on social networking sites, whether you're updating your status or writing on a fan page, is meant to be public. These sites are all about sharing information. What if you think you're talking privately with your friends? Alina Cho explores a controversy involving an online chat that allegedly led to a couple employees losing their jobs.
Did you ever in your wildest dreams think that making a comment like this on MySpace would get you fired from your job?
Absolutely not. Never in a million years would I have thought that this was going to get me fired.
It did. Doreen Marino says she was blindsided when in 2006 her boss at this Houston's restaurant in Hackensack, New Jersey fired her. Not for bad performance or calling in sick, but for allegedly making derogatory comments about one of her managers in a private discussion group on MySpace. Members only, password required, created specifically so she and other co-workers could gossip.
You want to vent?
Better to vent there, in my opinion. Take it somewhere where no one's going to hear you.
Marino was wrong. She says managers at the restaurant got hold of the password, didn't like what they saw, and as a result, according to Marino, fired her and another worker.
Did you feel like that was a violation of your privacy?
Absolutely. They weren't invited. They were not members of the group. In my opinion, I felt they had no business being there.
She's so mad, she and the co-worker are suing the owners of Houston's for invasion of privacy. The parent group of Houston's would not comment about the lawsuit, but in a statement to CNN said, quote, "This is not a case about cyber snooping, the First Amendment, or privacy. It's about two staff members who were let go for unprofessional conduct, including, says the company, disparaging comments about our guests and sharing a product knowledge test before it was administered. This misconduct was voluntarily brought to light by a member of the online group."
Is it really reasonable to expect that if you're writing things on MySpace, somebody's not going to see it?
I mean, where do we draw the line? We have the right to say what we want in a private environment.
Or do they?
Technology is changing faster than the law and faster than our social norms. So the law and the courts don't really know how to handle this. And it's not like they'll catch up.
Marino says she's hoping to set a precedent.
There has to be some sacred space in our lives where we can feel comfortable speaking our minds.
That is at the heart of the debate. One internet expert says there are no laws on the books to deal with this. The problem is that the internet is changing faster than the laws can be written. The expert says today there's a lawsuit on MySpace. Tomorrow there will be a similar case on Twitter. The norms, he says, have changed. Alina Cho, CNN, New York.
Interesting report there. Well, before we go today, how do you really drive home the point of a senior prank? Well, you can always park your car around the flagpole, and we mean around the flagpole. These seniors actually cut out part of the car so they could slide it around the pole, then they welded the thing back together. There's no punishment for the pranksters. They decided to confess, and that's probably a good thing since their getaway car wouldn't have gotten too far. That's all we've got for today. For CNN Student News, I'm Carl Azus.